Hey, it's Frank from 4D Honeybee, and I'm here to fix some wonky comb today, and not my hair, but wonky comb in the hives, and I'm here to do some feeding, feed up those bees, because both hives now have one frame of wonky comb. They're both the exact same frame. They're the first frame beside what would have been the last frame in the nuke box, and both of those frames, of the honey portion of those frames, were drawn out way wide, and because of that, I think it's contributing to wonky comb. Also probably just the plastic frames and the fact that they're old. They were waxed quite a while ago. So anyway, I'm going to try and fix it with two different ways, and hopefully they'll take. And thanks for joining me at 4D Honeybee. So what I was going to do, what I had planned to do, is that I found a drawn out frame of comb at home. So I was going to put that in this hive and not mess around with it anymore. But guess what I forgot at home? It really bugs me when I do stupid things like that. But yes, I forgot the frame at home. So I'm over to Plan B. Plan B is more or less just to try and squish the existing comb and flatten it out over the hive. I did bring in, over the foundation. I did bring in more foundation that I hyper waxed. Don't know, another one of life's mysteries. So instead, since I don't have the drawn out foundation comb, I'm going to put, I'm just going to put a new foundation in this one, just one that I've waxed heavily myself. And then on the other one, on the other hive, which is having the same problem on the exact same frame, I might add, just looking for the queen here. On the other one, I'm going to try and actually squish the wax that they have made in order to try and squish it back into the foundation so that hopefully, wow, there's a lot of bees here now. So that hopefully they will try to do it again. I see the queen down there. And she ran away, as she usually does. Okay, so let's try and make this inspection a quick one. And this is part of why I love this, this flexible cover. See, I only need to get to this frame here, right? So I don't have to crack the whole box open, and that must help. It must make it a little less intrusive for the bees, right? It's 5:30 in the afternoon and it's a gorgeous day, but I don't like coming to the bees this late in the afternoon. They can be a little moody. So all the foragers are back and they're wondering why they're getting disturbed. So here's here's wonky comb number one. So all I'm going to do is shake the bees off, look for the queen so that I don't shake her off, and then put another frame in that is much more heavily waxed. I don't see the queen, do you? Now, and the reason why I'm looking at the queen, or looking for the queen on this frame, is I have had a queen lay on foundation that was barely drawn out, like just drawn out like 1/4 of an inch, not enough for them to lay or anything. Oh, so part 2 of my plan though is that I'm going to also cut away the wonky honey that's on the frame beside it. See, I think this is what's causing part of the problem here, is that this is drawn out so far, and to do that I got to shake some bees. So probably should have worn long pants for this, but let's see. Okay, let's shake these bees away a second. Just put this frame down over here. And I'm going to look for the queen on this frame, just in case. Wow, this is a heavy frame of wonderful brood. kind of windy here too, which bees don't like either when you open up their hive in windy conditions. Okay, I don't see the queen on this frame. Let's see about this side. Okay, gotta get all these bees off. So we're gonna give them a shaky shaky. And get them smoked up too. Now I'm just gonna see how built up this comb is, right? That I think is adding to the problem. So we're gonna cut that right away and take that home. I don't want to, it's nice and warm out, so I'm not worried about the brood suffering from the cooler temperature, but I don't want to have them out any much longer than I need to. Clean up the top first. Okay, there goes my Tupperware. Just gonna flip this upside down and cut away this. Like, yeah, this wonky comb cannot be helpful. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Just gonna cut right. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of honey. Along there, put that in there. Trim out everything over here. Really trying not to touch the brood at all. Okay, let's get this frame back in. I think that has done the trick. Okay, so we get that frame in, get it settled. We'll shake the bees off of this frame as well. Take this frame away. And close up this hive. The new frame going in, right here. Old frame going in there too. Now I'm going to scoop up a bunch of their honey and give it right back to them, because this is making a mess. Look at this. There you go, girls. Here's some of your honey back at least. Come on, you got to get out. Got to get you back in the hive, girl. There you go. Okay, so worst part of this plan, I think, so far, is all the honey I put on the top of this hive. That was not well thought out. Okay, let's get this hive closed up again. Goodness knows that is enough stress for one day. And you know what, I'm gonna have to push those bees back down, so I'm gonna have to smoke these guys to get them off this inner lid. Come on guys, get going. Okay, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna push them off. Come on guys, I don't want to be a bully, but you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. All right. Okay, so we get the lid back on. We will get these guys fed. Come on guys. Go on. So now with this hive, again, just building out a wonky piece. I think I'm going to take the piece away though and take it to my truck and see if I can Yeah, I'll take this with this one. This is the one where I'm going to take the wonky frame out and see if I can just squish it back into the foundation. Squish all the wax they've built out into the foundation. Full of nectar, just full of nectar. Okay, we're looking for the queen here. Because again, I'm going to shake all these bees off. I'm going to get this side here into the sun, and I'm just going to smush it all in and see if that makes it work. You know what though? Let's see what this other frame's got going. Yeah, again, this frame has got a big bulge out here. You see that? A big bulge out here. Big bulge out there. That's really what I should get rid of, you know? Maybe I can get rid of that just by scraping it right from here and not actually taking it out of the hive. Let's have a look here. Let's pull this frame out. This one out too, just to give me some room to work with. Check all these frames for the queen, eh? Even though she shouldn't be out here, I will tell you that I have found the queen in every place she's never supposed to be. So that's what she does. That's why she's the queen. She's allowed. Okay, so I'm just gonna smoke these bees off this bit of honey up here and then just scrape it. Even if I don't take it, actually it would probably be perfectly fine for me to just leave that in the hive. You see it here? Now you don't have to worry about, yeah, let's shave that right down. And you keep that, okay, bees? I'm not gonna take that. And see, they're only gonna build the honey out that way. They're not gonna build the brood out because the brood has a fixed size that they have to keep it, right? They're like little engineers. And they're never gonna build brood out further than they need to, but they are, if they have the space, they're gonna build honey out further because it just gives them more honey, right? More stores. So, gonna close them up for now. I'm gonna take the one frame over to the car and see what I can do with it. Actually, I gotta shake those bees off, right? Shake it up, shake it up. Ba, 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 shake it up, shake it up. Okay. Still more to shake. Ouch. So, I mean, this comb here is perfect, right? This comb is good. This one is bad. So let's see what happens. I just kind of go like this. Go on, bee. So I'm just trying to push it hard enough into the foundation that it actually takes the shape of the foundation. The rest of this I think is fine. I think they're going to close that up. See, the only issue here is that they don't, if you have a look here, see, I've squished this one all the way down into the foundation so that hopefully it takes the shape and they start building up on that. This is perfect, right? This is not great, although it looks okay. The problem with, oh God, there's larvae in here, and there's eggs. Shoot. It's exactly what I was fearful of, is that the queen would start laying in here. There's larvae and there's eggs. There's no eggs over here. But I'm going to put this back as it is. Not do any more crushing. This was all bee bread, but this is larvae. Can you see them? Larvae and eggs. And again, they get in the bee bread here. This is larvae. Oh no, it looks like this is this is nectar over here, not larvae. So she's just laid right in the middle here. So we're going to put this frame back exactly how it is. and apologize profusely for messing it up. Hey queen bee, here's your bees back. Here's your babies back. So I don't like getting into the bees any more than once a week. And today I was getting back into the bees after only 2 days. 2 days that I discovered that wonky comb, because that's exactly what I was trying to prevent. I was trying to prevent the queen from laying in that wonky comb. Too late. She's been there. She's laid in the last couple of days. Probably, if I would have looked at it closer a couple of days ago, I probably would have seen the eggs. But they're definitely there now, so we're just going to let this hive sit for a while, let them figure it out. I don't think wonky comb is the end of the world, but it definitely, it's something that you can manage and you can help the bees with. So you should, because it just makes them more efficient, right? Makes them work less. So now I'm gonna feed these guys and clean up the honey that's on their lid so we don't attract any nasty players. Come on, guys. That's it. Work your way out. Come on. Come on. Work your way out. And we'll get these guys buttoned up again. Okay, guys, go on. So a slight addendum and conclusion to this video. Since the second frame that I pulled out from the second hive had eggs and larvae in it, I decided to go back to the first one and have a closer look, and sure enough, there were eggs in there. About 2-3 day old eggs just starting to hatch out. So I took that frame and put it right back in the hive. Again, thinking that the worst case, I've killed those eggs and they'll probably replace them and she'll continue to lay, but that was my fear. That's the reason why I came out within a couple of days. Maybe it's been 3 days actually. So I was here on Saturday. That's when I found the wonky comb. It's now Tuesday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. She probably started laying eggs on the weekend in the wonky comb, right? And so on the one frame, I just squished part of it that wasn't all the way down to the foundation and that had bee bread in it. I left the rest of it because it all had larvae in it. But what I did do also in both hives is I cleaned away the adjacent frame, the honey that was built out too far, and I think contributing to the wonky comb. So, you know, this might be one of those tales where I'm probably overworking the bees. Had I done that on Saturday, it would have been better. If I knew that I couldn't get to them for 2 or 3 days, I knew that she was going to lay in those combs, because I've had the queen bee lay when there's only a little bit of foundation starting to be drawn out, like nowhere near enough for the larva to grow out and hatch, and nowhere near enough for them to close it. But she's so smart, I guess, and the colony is so smart that she lays the eggs in there, and then the bees finish off the building out of the foundation. So they'll lay eggs when the foundation isn't completely laid out. So get to the problems early, or ignore them, not ignore them, but let the bees work them out on their own. I think the best thing that I did was remove that honey, although I made a mess all over the top of the hive. I've gotten most of it off, and I'll probably just come back with some more cleaning supplies, just some hot water, and clean up the rest of that lid that I got a lot of honey on. So did feed them. They're drying resources. They're doing really well. Brood is hatching out. The queens are laying. So maybe I just got to calm down a little on the whole wonky comb thing. Gotta admit, a lot of the comments get me a little worked up. Not because I don't appreciate them or anything, but people take burr comb really seriously, and they don't like it when it's there. So anyway, I hope you learned something. I think I've learned something, and I think the bees are still in good shape. They're probably in slightly better shape than they were yesterday. And thanks for joining me at 4D Honeybee. Now, just one more thing, and to those of you who have stayed in this painful video, as long as you have, God love you, you're saints. As adverse as conditions were today, so late in the day, must be after 6 o'clock now, windy conditions, those bees did not get nasty at all, right? Not one sting, you can see my uniform here, right? It's quite conducive to bee stings. but nothing, not even nastiness. So you can tell when bees are starting to get upset, right? They come at you pretty good, but these two hives are really great for that. Carniolans and the hive that 86 Off-Road gave me are really, really nicely mannered bees. And so I just thought I'd mention that too, because this would be a time when you know, messing around with them that much, pushing bees off of frames that much, it's a good opportunity for you to get stung. But I'm still sting free, knock on wood, for this year. So thanks for joining me.